guys, it's Becca from Mama Hodge Crochet. So today I'm going to show you some of my finished objects, and I'm going to show you work in progress. And yeah, that's it. I have a lot of stuff going on right now, so it's going to be a lot of stuff. How are you? I hope you're all having a great day. I'm having a pretty good day today. Today's a really great day. I'm going to take my husband on a date here in just a little bit. So that's going to be fun. So I'm going to start with the shawl. I finished the shawl and I didn't show it to you guys last video because I didn't have it around me. So I will show you how that came out. Here it is. Now the easiest way to show it, I think, is to put it on, turn around and hold it up. Let's see. So you can see the different dimensions. Again, this is the butterfly shawl. I found it on Petra's channel and absolutely fell in love with it. So that is the butterfly shawl. This is how it looks up close. The different stitches. It's fairly simple to follow. It's pretty much triple crochets, treble, however you say that. And I just love how all the colors came out. They're so pretty. I mean, and this is just a variegated yarn. Again, this was Ice Yarns Ambient, and the colorways like pink, camel, and turquoise. So yeah, that came out really pretty. I believe it's like a 2 or 3 row repeat. You should check it out on her channel. I'll link it below just so you guys can go directly to it if you want to. Last time I showed you a crocheted project I was working on my soon-to-be son-in-law's ripple blanket. I didn't get quite that far on it because I've been trying to get all these hats done for Billy, for the kids. So, see if I can get it undone here. This is about as far as I have gotten on it. So a little bit more progress than what you guys saw last. Again, this is the Ambient in the orange shades from Ice Yarn. I can go ahead and link those down in the description in case you guys are interested in it. It's really beautiful. It's got a nice sheen to it, a little bit of fuzzies. I love the consistency because it does go, I don't think it's intended to go from big to a little bit thinner, but it does that, so it makes it more fun to work with. So if you don't like that, then that would be something to keep in mind when ordering. Let's see. So I don't know if you guys have seen the video of Billy opening a gift that I had sent her. She shows a square that I had made her of sunflowers. Well, funny story. I came home one day and my daughter had seen the square sitting on the table, and she said, "Hey Mom, I love sunflowers. You know I love sunflowers. Do you think you could make me a keychain?" And I was like, I don't know. I mean, I can try. So I tried to make one, and after I made the first half, I didn't like the way the back looked, so I decided to make another one and then sew them together. And I think it came out pretty cute. It's kind of dirty because it's been on her keychain for so long. But that's how it came out. And when she flips it, I wanted it to be on both sides so that when she carries it on the keychain, it doesn't look, you know, like bare on the other side. I wanted it to be like a full-on flower, no matter how you looked at it. And I started a little something here because now all of her friends want one or other flowers. So what do? Make more. But I got enough going on right now. All right, let's dive into the last WIP I have going on right now. And that is a final hat that I'm making. This is in the Celtic weave, is what they call it, and it will be a hat when it's finished, but you actually work on it in a straight line. So it kind of curls a little bit until you get it to be the hat, and then you can weave it closed at the top, pull tight like you do, but that's what that ended up looking like as far as the stitch goes. It's actually quite lovely, crisscross stitch. I've had a lot of fun with these hats. Like I had told you before YouTube, I hadn't known any stitches besides double crochet and treble crochet, and I would play with those however. But once I found Crystal at Bag O Day, I started learning different stitches, and then I went on from there. I found other YouTubers and just started surfing it and just having a lot of fun with it. So the first hat I ever tried to make was from somebody that was trying to teach it going all the way up to the top of the hat, all the way down, all the way up, all the way down. And so what ended up happening was it wasn't coming together, and it was all slip stitches. And I don't think that I should have started with that. So I doubted myself, and I was like, I can't do hats. I just can't. But then I was sitting and thinking, I really want to make hats for these kids. I bought the pom-poms and everything. I just really would, and it's a great stash buster. I have a lot of single skeins or stuff like that from making blankets and things like that. I had a lot more than I had thought that I had. So it was a great stash buster to be able to just go in, pick one that I liked, sit down, search YouTube, find different unique stitches, and have fun with it. And I had a lot of fun with it, and I'm still not done. I ordered some more yarn. Should be here tomorrow or the next day. I'll do an unboxing on that to make more, and some more pom-poms and things like that too. So for this one, the yarn that I used has alpaca in it, and I'll read the yarn label here. That's about the only thing that I don't quite care for on it, because nobody really wants to have an itchy hat. But my version of itchy and other people's are totally different. It's still on the soft side. It just has the little pieces of alpaca fur coming out of it. So once Billy gets this, I'll just tag in a little note that says, if you think any of these hats are just a little bit too itchy, it's not going to hurt my feelings if you don't use them. This yarn is from Hobby Lobby. It is the Yarn Bee Fair Isle. And the stats on it is it's size 3 weight. It calls for a 5.5 millimeter hook. It is 3.5 ounces, 100 grams, 254 yards. It's 80% acrylic and 20% alpaca. And it does have the fuzzies. I don't know if you should be able to see that in the light. It has the fuzzies, but as you're using it, see there's like this one long one, and that's the alpaca fur. So as you're using it, you feel like you're crocheting hair. So I don't quite know, but I'm still gonna think about that one. So I don't have the ball bands on all of the yarn that I used for these, because some of them were just in a bin. But the majority of them are pretty much all the same thing. The first yarn that I used was Red Heart Soft Essentials. I used it in several different colors. The Soft Essentials is a bulky 5 weight. It calls for a 6.5 millimeter hook. I stuck with whatever the design called for, or tried to, because I didn't want it to be too big or too small. So, but a lot of the hats I made was 6 millimeter. This one calls for a 6.5, but I said it's for a kid. So if I go down to a 6, it's probably not going to be that serious. So yeah. And it has a nice scarf on the front of it that the design comes in the ball band. And that one even calls for a 10 millimeter hook. So you can always play and see what kind of tension you want and what kind of size you want, stuff like that. So the very first hats that I came across, which I'll link down below, was a woman, Tamara Kelly. And she makes a lot of intermediate style hats. And like I said, I really wanted to play with stitches and have fun with it. So she had a diamond pattern hat that I had saved in my in a file. So let's see. The first hat that I made, I sent Billy one skein of the it's Yarn Bee Sugar Wheels in the teals. So I started in the middle and worked my way out. And so the first one came out in these colors. And these ones are a start from the top, work down, and then work the band around by chaining 8. Yes, chaining 8 and working down the chain till you get to the bottom, and then doing 2 single crochet together, and then going back up the chain and chaining 1 back down the chain, and it ended up coming together really pretty. And the poofs I bought on Amazon, they came in a pack of 12, and basically they're the snap. So I just tried to match. I used embroidery floss to sew those on. The first one I made, I sewed it upside down. I wasn't quite sure what I was doing, so I got the hang of it eventually. But the cool thing is they can take the ball off, they can throw it in the wash. When it's done drying, they can pull it back out, and it's got a snap on the bottom, and they can just snap it right on there. So that's the first one of the diamond pattern. Then the second one I made was the rest of that, which it didn't even use the whole thing. The rest of that skein or cake, it was a cake, is this one. And again, I used a white. Well, it's got a little bit of gray texture to it. The third one I made like that. This one I wanted to play with because I had some teal left over. I can't remember. I know it's Red Heart. I just don't remember which brand of Red Heart that it was, because it doesn't have a ball band. It was just one big ball of teal. And then I took the Soft Essentials white that I had. Nope, was it? No, it's actually, the white that I used was this here, Yarn Bee Soft and Sleek Chunky. I had this yarn from that blanket that I made for my son with the black, white, and gray checks. I still had a bunch left over, so I made some hats out of it. And so I used the white on that and just kind of, I wanted to have them come, I started with white, and then I started the teal once the diamonds were about to start, so that they would be posts. I thought it looked really cool. And then for this one, I used a black poof. Love this colors. These are just really, really pretty together. So pretty. Okay, and the last one I had, when I went to Walmart about a month ago, I'd always been attracted to the jeans colored mandala ombres. So I picked up a couple skeins, but I didn't know what to do with them. Because I was already in the middle of making stuff, and I didn't know anybody that had wanted a 3-weight. So it worked perfectly to make a couple of hats. So the last one I made in the diamonds was with the mandala ombre. I don't quite remember the colorway on this one either. But it's really pretty because it starts with the light and it moves down to a little bit darker. It just looks like a pair of jeans to me. I just love it. So I put a brown one on that. I thought it really tied it in together really pretty. So that's the last of the diamond hats. So then I moved on to another hat style. I'm trying to remember if this is either crystals or if it's, yeah, you know who I'm talking about. It started with, I think it was crystal. It starts off with just your regular double crochets, and then it moves on into shell stitches. And then the bottom is done at the end. And she does her bottom a little bit differently. So I'm not quite sure what I think about the brim of this one, because in her video she does a single crochet all the way around, which I did, but I'm just not quite, I don't know. I think it still came out really, really pretty. and I put a white puff. Pardon my dog barking. We had neighbors move in next door and they have dogs and they're barking. Let me pause for just a second. Okay, I'm back. That didn't pause, it actually stopped. Yay, editing! Okay, so the next ones that I made, I think I only made 2 of that shell one. Did I show the second one? I don't think so. This is the pink, gray, and white one. This is the Soft Essentials Red Heart that I had bought to make some baby blankets. I can show those in another video. But one of them I designed myself playing around, and the other one I did really pretty. This one I really like. I just do. I love that. The ribbing came out really pretty on that one. And I used a gray poof for that as well. But this one's more gray. The other one's white with some gray. This is really gray. You can see that. Okay, then another one Crystal had on her channel was the next one up, where there's a little bit of cabling. This one's another Soft Essentials. It's a navy blue. It kind of looks purple in the light. There we go. But it's a navy blue. And then I put another brown on top of that one. And then I moved on to making a couple male hats. And on these ones, I just did, I believe, double crochet and then ribbing. And I used the yarn that's a little thicker on my husband's blanket that I had left over for it. So I had enough to make 2. One of them is to me, it looks a little different because they were 2 remnants of 2 different balls. So I had enough to make 2. But like I said, when I had sent my daughter to get this one, it was different. So that's the one I used to outline his blanket. Then I moved on to a cable design. So I started with the female hat. I think that came out really pretty. And put a white poof on that one. And then I used another Yarn Bee sugar wheel that I had in licorice and made another male hat out of that. And this color change was all on its own. It was just right to go in. I didn't do that on purpose. I didn't do any color controlling on that. So that one came out good. The other male hat that I made was this one for a smaller kid, and this is just the ribbing all the way down, keeping the stitches the same. And that's in that mandala. I had some extra yarn that I had bought from Ice. It's just a black yarn, acrylic black yarn. And I wanted to play a little bit. I'd been making hats for a little bit. I wanted to play a little bit. So I tried to do my own type of cabling. I don't know if anybody thinks it came out good or not. You start down here. So by the time I got to here, I had enough stitches to do them this way. But then by the time I got up here, I accidentally decreased just, I think, by 1 stitch. And so everything kind of was closer together. But then, see, I don't like that it comes out a little bit right there. I mean, if you were to stretch it, it kind of comes together, but I don't know. Again, it's for a kid. They might love it. Who knows? And then my favorite hat of all, I've saved for last. When I made my son's blanket, I did sections of 4 doing the plaid. And I found this one on Crystal, another one of Crystal's tutorials, making the plaid. And I knew it was going to take a little while, but it was fun. I had the pink, the gray, the white, and the black. I only had enough black to do the cabling at the bottom, or the brim. And so I only used black there. And I put the pink, gray, and white together for the hat. Cinched it at the top and then ended it with a black poof. And it wasn't too difficult because you're carrying the yarn as you go. So I wasn't having to sew in a whole lot of, tying in a whole lot of ends. I had 2 for the black, one that I started with, one that I ended with, and then I had 2 for each color going up. But what I did was, on the white and the gray, I held 2 strands of yarn together because it was already balled that way. And then the white is a 5, so, or a 5 or a 6, so it was already a little bit thicker, so I kept that one strand. And again, I'll link these pattern tutorials in the description box. So those are the hats. Like I said, I have more yarn coming, some more poofs coming, and some more fun colors, more kid type colors. Because like I said, I'm just having a lot of fun with this. I did take a break in between. Once I finished up these hats, I decided to do my daughter's diamond painting that she's been waiting for forever. The one that I had showed you guys how to set up, it only took me a couple of days to finish. So this is the finished object. And it's the sunflowers. I have the frame to frame this up, so I might make a video on how to frame that. I'm still thinking about that because I'm trying to show both of my crafts that I do from the beginning of my videos. That way I'm not starting with just crochet and then bringing in something different, because I want to make sure that, you know, I don't have people leave my channel because they're not interested in one thing and not the other. I'd rather try to separate them and have some videos that are just diamond painting and then other videos that are just crochet, and that way that you can read the thumbnail or the title and just decide, okay, well, this one's on diamond painting, I'm not really into that, so I'm not going to watch that one, or vice versa. So that's, I just love how shimmery it is. Came out really pretty. I love the different color variations in that, just shading and detail. For the price, yeah. Okay guys, well that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed watching. Please, if you did enjoy, don't forget to like and subscribe, and come on back and see some more videos. I hope you guys are having a blessed day and have a blessed week. Bye guys.